Hey, welcome to the Backyard Professor Responds videos. Psychoactivo Pavel has a very interesting comment on Richard Bandurish, and he was a NASA and Lockheed engineer who came out and said there are trillions of sliver small UFOs around the world. And he talked about some of the UFO information. And I'm not going to cover that part of Bandurish at this point in time. It has been covered, but I've got a unique, fresh insight into all of it. I get it. I'm a couple of days late on this particular topic. But Robert Sheep of Custodian File and I are going to do a show together, possibly tomorrow night. And he has some special insider information that no other channel that I've seen has. So you want to stay tuned with that. We're going to get together either tomorrow night or the next night and share some more on this Bandurish dragon type UFOs that Custodian File, Robert, has been finding for a long time. And I get it. Some of them are bugs. And I get it. There's critics who say, no, they're all bugs. I don't think so. I agree. Sometimes they're bugs, but something else is going on because of the reaction of the Air Force and the Navy in the Delray Peninsula area where Robert lives every time some of these things show up. It's just a fascinating subject. So, but what I want to do is I want to share just one idea of Pavel, and then I want to echo him. Now, Christian Harloff on Down to Earth has also commented on Bandurish, and he has an idea that I also want to at least present. I'm getting it from Christian. I'm not going to give you the clip of Christian's website. You can find him easy enough. He's easy to find. He's very popular. A newsman, covers the news. Tonight, I just want to share Eric Davis's response as Pavel found it. And I think this is quite important. This is our friend Pavel. Good guy.
So he asked about Banduric, and this is what Dr. Davis stated, according to the UFO Joe Murgia. To me, this is kind of shots fired from Dr. Davis. Joe says, can I break 1,000 likes by sharing bad news? Because he's mentioning the 1,000 likes that Ross Coulthard's tweet about Banduric received. He said, I was skeptical of Bandurich's claims. So last night, I asked Dr. Eric Davis what he thought. And I quote, Banduric is a liar on par with Burish, Lazar, Fuchs, and Michael Moran. I've already told his story in other chat groups because I met him at the 2021 JANAF virtual meeting. No real UAP WUSA personnel would ever come out and say one single word about their work because of the counterintelligence investigation, polygraph, prosecution, and conviction for violating the relevant national security laws and regulations. Those people are held up to much higher security scrutiny than guys with TS-SCI clearance, end quote. So yeah, shots fired. I just want to ask though, because this statement confused me a little bit because, you know, the debate of whether ARVs are a real thing or not. Dr. Eric Davis was on American Alchemy on an interview that was conducted by UAP GERB and Missile Man and Thembir as well. And they asked him directly point blank about ARVs, and Dr. Eric Davis flat out denied that ARVs are real.
That's enough of the clip to get you to the point. The great physicist Eric Davis is a gatekeeper. Now, being a physicist, to call a man names does not discredit that man. It discredits you. You're a physicist. Pull your math and physics books out and show why the physics of Bandurish's description of UFOs, which he was well aware of, is wrong. You don't go calling names like a little child and throwing your Legos at him and mocking him. That's disappointing. I just praised Eric Davis the other day in another video. And now, based on this information, new information has caused me to once again change my mind. I read several comments in Pavel's video that you can go read. He calls Bob Lazar a liar. Bob Lazar has passed lie detector tests. Let's see Eric Davis take one. I mean, you know, if you're gonna go that road, then live up to the same standard Bob Lazar lived up to, and let's see you pass it. I want to see you bring out your physics, not name call. Again, and Burleson was just interviewed the other day, and he said, you know, I want to say something to the UFO community. We've got to stop all of the infighting. This is ego going on. This is Eric Davis deliberately being paid to lie. Well, that destroys your credibility. I get it. You don't want the real information out. Then we're never going to go to you again to find any information because you can't be trusted. And then you call everyone else who has some credibility liars. You just shot yourself in the head, Eric Davis, as far as I'm concerned. And that's too bad because physicists are hard to come by in this UFO situation. You know, the more physicists and scientists we can get involved here, the better. But if you're just going to come out and call people liars, then you have nothing to contribute at all other than that. Really? You're a professional physicist? You can't demonstrate that the physics are wrong? What? That's not science. What we need from you scientists like you, Eric Davis, is an analysis of the information, not name calling. So, you know, and I've done my fair share of name calling. I'm guilty, see, but I'm trying to change that. It's hard sometimes. It really is. But I don't have a PhD in physics. You know, Eric Davis has a much higher standard than I do, even though I'm trying and I'm learning how to keep my standard high for discovering as much about this topic as I can. And it's tough to do sometimes because the woo-woo gets really wild. And then it turns out that there's superb evidence for the woo-woo. For instance, Eric Davis says ARV is fake. Horse manure, pucky dung, caca, feces. Shit. Eric Davis, you have lost your credibility, dude. I showed evidence just last night on my live with Nate on the ARV of Joe Mockmaneagle. I can never pronounce his name right. I apologize. Agent 001. And he definitely has proven ARV works. He's proof. Ingo Swann absolutely proved it. Paul H. Smith has absolutely proved it. It is not 100%. No one claims that. So don't throw out that silly red herring. That's a non sequitur. They all say that. But it does work. I mean, our own Daz Smith here on YouTube has demonstrated conclusively on Richard Dolan shows with other remote viewers that remote viewing absolutely does work. Eric Davis, you're just toast. You're out to lunch on that one. I get it. You're a gatekeeper, so you're compromised. You're as bad as Richard Doty. And that's too bad because you can't be trusted to tell the truth. You're paid to lie. That's unfortunate. I hope the pay is worth it because your reputation just went into the toilet on claiming all of these other people are just liars and you have absolutely no evidence whatsoever that they are. And it's silly. This is not what we need. And I agree with Pavel. Shots were fired, and unfortunately, you're pointing the gun at yourself when you pulled the trigger. Way to go. It's too bad. Doggone it, I thought we had a scientist, physicist on our side, and it turns out that we don't. He's compromised. So no more information from Eric Davis need apply. Doesn't matter what you say from here on out. I don't care if you're with Congress people. Nothing you say is going to fit. So that's disappointing. I've got to confess. On the other hand, we really do have a social problem, and I have contributed to it. I plead guilty. I'll man up on that. I'll own it. I have called other fellow YouTubers who were talking about the UFO stuff and all. I've kind of criticized their materials a little bit too harshly, and I paid the price for that. I'm learning. It's a matter of just getting through the experience and trying to figure it out. We all want the same thing, but this is just not the way to do it. What we need is analysis, not name calling. That would be my proposition. I've said that enough times now. So that's the part I wanted to cover tonight. Robert and I are going to do an in-depth analysis of Bandurish, hopefully tomorrow night. You won't want to miss that. Robert has inside information that no one else does. So anyway, that's it for me tonight. I will catch up to you just as soon as I can. In the meantime, remember, you guys are awesome. I do appreciate all of you, and have a good evening.